Why do I have 8 empty Lapua boxes here? Well, it's because we're going to be sorting bullets, and we're going to be doing it with the Accuracy 1 bullet overall comparator. There you go. So, first things first, you guys know I always try to tell you if something was discounted or free to me. This one was a beta test. I helped him do a bunch of testing once he got it designed, and yes, I got to keep it. So, did I pay for this? No, but I can tell you 100% I would buy this without any reservations. And in fact, while I was doing the beta testing, I had, I think, 6 or 7 different guys at my club who got to borrow it and do some sorting at their house. Every one of them has ordered one already, and another 5 guys who got to see the unit just with me at the club showing them how to use it have ordered it. So yeah, there's been like 12 or 13 people that they saw it, they used it, and they said, I'm done, this is what I'm getting. So take it for what it's worth, but I do like to tell you guys when if I pay for something or not. So anyway, so how does it work? Well, it's really pretty simple. He's got a thumb lever actuated digital comparator. There is a machined stop that goes onto the comparator here, and then this aluminum body that is really nicely channeled. There's some little special features he's done in it so that bullets lay the exact same way every time, and then an adjustment screw in case you have slightly larger, longer bullets or shorter bullets, and then of course a stop to hold that adjustment and a stop to hold the comparator in. So let me show you how I use it and why I love it. So the first thing is, it is just stupid fast. I used to take an entire football game to sort 1,000 bullets, so that's about 3.5 hours. I can do that in under an hour now, and it just blows me away. So how do I use it? Well, the first thing I do is I take a bullet and I create kind of a bullet gauge. So I take this, I take some 200 grit sandpaper, I sand the tip down, I take 15 or 20 thousandths off of it. And why do I do that? Well, traditionally, bullet sorting, a lot of people, and even in the past, this is what I've done, is they go through and they measure maybe 10 or 20 bullets, they find one in the middle, and then they set their gauge or comparator, whatever they're using, to 0. So then they'll have -1, 2, 3 and +1, 2, 3. And that's fine, except I will just tell you, this thing goes so fast that you can kind of get mind numb to it, and it's really easy to drop a -2 and a +2 bin, or a -3 and a +3, and suddenly you've got a bullet that's 2, 3, 4 thousandths off, and you don't want that. So what I do is I create a bullet that's about 15 or 20 thousandths under. That way everything is a positive number, no way to make a mistake. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm only using 8 bins. The reality is I usually use maybe 10 or 12 bins. And I'm always going to have a low bin, which is going to be usually 2, 3, 4, 5 measurements. It's kind of a collect-all for everything that's below a certain number. And then I have a high bin. And these, are just going to be like blow-offs, or, if I'm doing 100-yard testing where it doesn't really matter, stuff like that. And then the middle is kind of, your bell curve of, the mass of your bullets. And those are the ones that are going to get pointed and put away for matches and stuff like that. And because I can sort exactly by 1,000ths, when I set up my pointing die, I'll set it for the longest bullet first, and then when I go to the next box, I simply turn the bullet die in 1,000ths, and now these are going to get pointed the same as these did. And then when I'm done with this box and go to this box, it comes down 1 more thousandths and 1 more thousandths, and now all of these have the same gorgeous little tip on them. So we have a box of 100 bullets here. We are going to stick our bullet gauge in here. Now, I've obviously used it before, so it's zeroed, but I would hit 0 on this. This one here goes back in my box with the tool, and that is so that after I've sorted, let's say I sort 500, and then maybe a month later I go, man, I really need to sort some more bullets. Well, guess what? I can put that gauge back in, make sure this thing's zeroed the same, sort out another 500 into the same exact bins that already have bullets, and now everything's copacetic. So that's what I want to be able to do. I hate being in a situation where I can't add to my existing, where I have to use it up first and then start over. That's just not a way to, I don't know, I just don't find that to be a good way to do anything. So I'm going to do 100 bullets. You guys are going to see it. Keep in mind that, I would normally have a few more bins. It just doesn't look good on the camera. So there's going to be a few more in the bottom and a few more on the top. A couple other things. I am going to measure 3 or 4 of them just so that I can label the boxes here in a second, because I want to be able to mentally see, okay, this is going to be whatever, 10 thousandths or 12 thousandths or something like that. And look, we all know bullets have some kind of a slightly, jackety tip at the top. So there is always a chance, no matter how good the tool is, that when it goes to measure, there could be, in my experience with the Burger bullets here, I might see a 0.5 thousandths difference. So there is a chance that if I put something in like a 14 bin and I remeasure it, it might be 13.5. I'm okay with that because I'm making such small adjustments on my pointing die anyway, that it's really not that big a deal. But most of the time, everything's going to come back exactly to the same measurement, repeatability wise, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So we're just going to grab, I just want to get kind of an idea here. So, okay, 12, 13, 15, 12. Let's pull some from deeper in the box here. 11, 18. Okay. 18. What were we at here? 17. Okay. So you have to be careful. Like sometimes I leave my thumb on it and it has an effect on stuff. So there's 13. Make sure you let go all the way. 13. Okay, so I'm seeing anything, there's 21. So I saw everything from 10 to 21. I don't have that many bins, so let's do this. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's do 11 to 18. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So I'm just going to, I normally don't line my boxes up exactly like this, just it's easier for camera to do this. But you'll get the idea, and however you want to sort it is going to make sense to you. I like using my Lapua boxes because they are big, and I sort a lot of bullets at a time. But, whatever works for you. Okay, so we're going to go 11. But keep in mind, that's really going to be like 11, 10, 9, 8, whatever. And then 12. Again, what I'm really concentrating on is I want the middle of that bell curve. I want the bulk of the bullets to have their own boxes. I don't really care about the outliers. 17 and 18. All right. So that should be pretty safe. So again, 10 and under, 18 and over, everything else in the middle. So let's go. 13, 9, 16, 14. So you see how easy this is, right? 16, 13, 12, 13, 16, 12, 13. I had a buddy that was really sick and needed to sort 2,500 bullets. And so I let him borrow this. I took it over to his house and he literally sat in bed and sorted 2,500 bullets, and it took less than a couple movies. He was floored. He thought it was going to be an all-day process. 17. Because he just put these on his bed and then just kept grabbing a box of bullets, and easy peasy. Uh-oh. Once the boxes get a couple bullets in them, they stand up a little better. And I will say, the more bullets I'm going to sort, I'll open up a few boxes and measure them just so that my bins reflect the most accurate, variance. But You can usually get pretty close. Worst case, you know, like maybe you see a lot of 18s and then some some overs. You might, you know, throw out another box so that 18 has its own, and then maybe there's a 19 and above. It's a learning process, and it also depends how many bullets you're sorting. You sort 1,000 or 2,000 bullets, it's a lot different than sorting 100 or 200. And of course, everybody has their own levels of variance that they're comfortable with. We're getting there. I know this is like watching paint dry. But if you've ever sorted bullets, you know this is faster than you've ever sorted them before. This bin definitely should have been a couple more bins going down, but that's all right. It's just for the sake of making videos here. Couple more here and we're good. You can see where, you know, using a positive number only is just so much easier and so much less, you know, prone for accidents of accidentally throwing it in, you know, a -2 versus a +2 or vice versa. But I did, before I went to nationals this year, I did 1,500 bullets. Because I want to try to do as many as I can so that I have the most in a given group. Because really that's, oh, there we go, we're done already. Because that's really the key. So now that I've sorted them, of course the question is, yeah, great, that only took you a few minutes, but how repeatable is it? Well, let's pull out a couple 12s here. 12. 12. Okay, here's some 17s. 17. 17. Okay. 17. 15. So, I mean, I can go back and 100% repeat with this. Like I said, occasionally you get something where you had a weird, you know, piece of copper sticking up and or brass, and you know, it might or copper jacket, you know, and it might make a 0.5 difference, but more often than not, they repeat back to nothing, and it's just the way to go. So again, make yourself a little bullet gauge. That way, everything's positive numbers, and I don't know. I mean, I just love it. It's simple, it's small, it's effective, and it helps me get the job done. So if you've been looking for a better way to sort bullets, I honestly think this is it. And if you have any questions, hit me up below. I will tell you, as of today, they are not technically on the Accuracy One website, but if you call, they will have them available to sell. They just haven't been able to get them on the website. So you can get ahead of the curve and call them. I think they're running about $160 as of today, plus shipping. Like I said, it's probably the best $160 you could spend. And I know that's easy for me to say because, like I told you, I didn't have to pay for it. I would 100% pay for this tool, 0 reservations. So anyway, you guys have a good one. Talk to you guys later.